What's up, guys? It's LordSevein, and, well, a lot of you guys were asking in the last couple of videos for a review for Walking Dead, and don't worry, it's coming. It's right here. But I really just wanted to let the game's ending kind of speak for itself. It's a really impactful game, and I think me going, lol, and just making comments over that ending would have completely ruined it for some people, so I'd rather be more silent than anything. That, and it was really sad, and I was kind of tearing up, and yeah. So, anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I thought about Walking Dead. This is like a very light review. Don't take this as an official review, because it's not. But I did want to talk about a couple of things that I thought were really cool about this game. First thing is the style. Overall, I really loved the graphic style of this game. It's like comic booky. It's just very heavy outlines, and it really harkens back to the graphic novel, the Walking Dead graphic novel, which is all this is based off of. And I thought it was just really cool to kind of bring that, draw that line between the two mediums, because not everyone's read the comic books or graphic novels, but for the people who have, or even just a little bit like I have, it really kind of connected the same themes, because at least at the beginning of the game, it doesn't really quite feel like Walking Dead. I mean, a little bit, but not quite. But then if you have read the graphic novels, and then you come in and play the game, once you get to about the second and third episode, it really starts to feel like Walking Dead. It starts to get a lot darker, a lot heavier, and I just really liked that. I thought that graphical style just locked right in there. So for style points, this game is excellent. It's fantastic. Next, I want to talk about the story a little bit. The story was crazy. It was all over the place, man. It was you go from your typical zombie outbreak. Oh, I wrecked a car, to we're gonna eat people now. And at that point, I was like, the hell? What is going on in this game right now? I'm stopping people from eating people. What? And the third episode and fourth episode were pretty tame overall. I mean, a little bit. And that last one, cutting off your arm, man. Good God, I actually had to stop for a little bit. If you look back at, I think it's the first or second episode of the fifth episode or whatever, No Time Left. There's actually a little cut right as Lee is walking up the elevator or whatever, and that's because I had to stop because I was just so freaked out by that. I was like, man, what a decision they make you make. But overall, I was really impressed with the story, because I think it captured like the Walking Dead feel and really made you get involved with the characters more than just, meh, I guess I want this person to live. The majority of the characters I actually cared about, and the ones I didn't, I really didn't care about. It was very clear lines for me. And I really thought that the story contributed to that. They had all these choices that you could make, and then, if you make this choice, it's going to affect something later on in the game or whatever. And I thought some of those were really contrived. Like, it didn't seem like they made much difference. Like, when I was like, ooh, I'm going to go out on my own after I got bit or whatever, I didn't... Like, I thought I'd literally be on my own. Like, I made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to involve everyone else with my nonsense. I was just going to find Clem, get him back to the group, and then go die somewhere. That was my thought. But then, like, later on, you just kind of join up with everyone anyway. So, I don't know. I guess I'd have to play through it again, not going alone and seeing kind of what happens. But, some of those felt like it didn't really affect anything. But then there were other things that, like, way definitely did affect things. Like, when the old dude has the heart attack and I chose to smash his head in with some salt. Yeah, that definitely had some major implications throughout the rest of the game. I mean, I probably would have been with a slightly different group. I definitely would have not had... Kenny wouldn't have had my back as much throughout. And I still think he would have turned and killed us all. But, maybe... I'm no doctor, but... whatever. That's definitely one that really kind of stayed with you throughout it, especially like your choice for Ben, whether or not you let him live or not. And it turns out at the end of the game, it doesn't really matter because dude dies anyway. But still, I thought it was really interesting that that some of them didn't really seem to have an effect, and some of them were like, they drastically affect things. So I really liked the parts that drastically affected things, because it really made it feel like I was in control of what was going on, rather than being kind of in control of what was going on. You know, that feeling when you get really immersed in a game and you're like so deeply like, oh my god, I'm in this world, and then you just feel like something's completely out of your control or something seems really contrived, and then it kind of takes you out of that. I didn't have very much of that in this game. Only a couple of times where I was like, the hell? Like the whole Kenny thing. Kenny, come into the gate. The kid is dead. Why are you... Come on, man. And then he goes up and sacrifices him. Come on, man. He's dead. Like, let him be, and then just shoot him in the face, and let's get up and... That was so stupid, but whatever. Overall, though, I really liked the story. I thought that it really kept me engaged, and there was a lot of interesting things happening throughout it. So, let's talk about characters for a second. Characters in this game are some of the best in just about any game I've played except for The Last of Us. The Last of Us, like, by far is, like, the best game I've ever played. Unfortunately, I started watching and kind of playing through some of The Last of Us while I was going through The Walking Dead. It kind of tainted The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead would have been the best game I've ever played if I hadn't played The Last of Us or seen someone play it. But in terms of characters, the characters are really strong. I mean, they're actually well written, unlike in, say, the Jurassic Park game, where some of the characters are strong and some of them were... I was like, what the hell? I hate this person, and they're so poor. You know, it was a lot better. There was a lot more nuances and layers on people. A good example is like Kenny. Kenny was, I think, amazingly well written because he was consistent, yet he still had layers to him. So, like, he was consistently like, hey, let's get shit done. Let's not mess around. We've got a goal. Let's hit that goal. And then when people would dick around, he'd be like, look, stop, because we have this goal, and unless you all want to die, we should probably do that. And, like, sometimes he got heated, you know, because he's a little bit of a redneck, and that's fine, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. But overall, he was very consistent. But then, like, towards the end, you really get to see Kenny kind of break down a little bit after all that happened to him, and then kind of dealing with things and trying to come to terms with things. You really kind of see more layers to him. And that's pretty rare in video game writing. I mean, we get excited when, you know, we get a sidelong look from the female protagonist to the male protagonist in a video game. We're like, oh my god, best story ever. Like, Kenny, I think, was really well written, and I think that overall everyone contributed something to the story. There's some minor characters, and that's every story's gonna have minor characters, but there was a couple of the characters that I wasn't a super big fan of because they just kind of seemed like they were there to piss you off like half the time. Like, I don't even remember. The chick who who shot Carly in the face, I don't even remember her name, but I hated her. Like, at every point, I was like, man, you are stupid. And of course, it came to bite me in the ass. So I guess that's good writing in a sense, because you really hated them. And not because, man, their lines are stupid or something like outside of the game. It was because in the game, you hated their decisions, and you were immersed enough that you were like, why are you making these decisions? Come on, man. But, I mean, overall, just the characters are just really well written. And, of course, Clem's my baby. I feel like she's my daughter, and she's a video game character. That's messed up. I mean, I would have done anything for Clem at any point. Like, completely, from the beginning to the end, I would have done anything. If she said, hey, let's just go kill everyone, I'd be like, sure, great, let's go do that. Hold on, I've got the guns. Like, I would have been totally fine with it because it's what Clem wanted to do. Oh my god. Like, every time she was in danger, I was like, I'm gonna die if she dies, what the hell, you know? And so the ending was extremely striking to me because it's almost frustrating because, you know, at this point, you know Lee loves Clem. Like, you know that he sees her like a daughter and would do anything for her. And he never says, I love you to his daughter. What the hell? The closest thing we get is, I'll miss you and keep your hair short. I'm like, just say you love her. What the hell? Come on, man. Come on. And so the ending, I thought, was really fitting for the two of them, though, because they never really quite explored that. Like, they both cared for each other. You know, Clem definitely cared for Lee, and Lee cared for Clem, like, say that 10 times fast. But you could definitely tell by like the end of the first episode, they were, they were working out well. There was a little bit of rifts here and there, but definitely into the second episode, you know that Clem was all about Lee, and Lee was all about Clem, and it was going to work out well. But I was really just wanting that nice resolution there at the end. And of course, the epilogue, I mean, come on. What's going to happen? I want to know. I care about Clem as a character, and damn it, you've killed off Lee. Can I at least have Clem, please? But anyway, guys, I can't recommend this game enough. I think you can get it for like $5 on Steam when it's on sale. And if you don't get it and play through it yourself, using your own decisions, not just mine, and see kind of where you end up, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's an excellent, excellent game. And I have had a ball playing it. It took me like 6 months to do it. But man, I did it. I did it. It was good. So I really recommend it. You guys should just go out right now and pick it up. Even at retail, it's a fantastic, fantastic job. And I can only hope that Telltale will continue to produce games of this quality in the future. Like, I wish Jurassic Park was this quality. Not that I didn't like Jurassic Park, but it would have been that much better if it had been this well written and this well directed and all that kind of thing. So overall, I mean, I can't recommend this enough. This is one of the games you absolutely should play. Go get it. But anyway, guys, that's kind of my little mini review / spoiler filled what I think. I know you guys were wanting it, so I wanted to make sure I got this out to you guys. Anyway, let me know what you thought. What'd you think of the playthrough? What'd you think of the characters, the story, the style, anything I missed? The music I think was pretty good, and that added something to it. But I mean, what do you think about anything regarding the game? Should I play the expansion? I've heard the expansion's a little different. The DLC is a little different, doesn't focus on the same characters, so I'm not 100% sure I will. I probably will, but it may just be a little bit before I do. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought, what you think, and I will see you guys later. Peace.